if you think about any artist that's relevant right now, that ain't new, just think about how long they've been in the game. Think about their career and think about what they had to endure and persevere to still be relevant. And I think a lot of artists get into it and think they gonna become rich overnight. They forget that this is hard work. This is real. And it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. You can't like say, I'm gonna be a rapper and then I ain't gonna be a rapper. It's like you a rapper, a musician, a producer, and you gotta live it, breathe it, and really do it. And I think a lot of people can do it up to a point. And I think when they feel they're not getting their reward or benefit from it, they just leave it alone. And then there's other people that say, you know what, I'm gonna keep going because I know there's something greater for me there. If I just endure this, you know, I can do it. And I think that's what it is. You know, basically what the problem or the question is about young artists not looking up to older artists. I don't really know if that's true, because I know there's a handful of artists that do look up to the OGs, because you got to get the game from somewhere. Like even when I was coming in the game, I had to get the game from somewhere. I had to visualize and understand what was going on for me to participate in it. And so I think there's plenty of young artists that look up to older artists, and those artists that do probably are some of the successful young artists. Because if you're not really paying homage to those that came before you, then how you expect to get there? You're still gonna have to follow the same blueprint, do the same shows, you know, the same promotion. So, you know, I don't really think it's too bad. But I do hear artists like, oh man, you know, we ain't listening to Jay-Z, we ain't doing this and that. But you just take that and you're supposed to learn from it. You ain't gotta like their music, but learn from their success. Because the Midwest doesn't like to support the Midwest. If you had, you know, let's just say Kansas City, Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, you know, Indiana, Cleveland, all these places having they artists, all the cats that's popping in those towns running up and down the highway around the Midwest, we wouldn't have to go nowhere else. You know, we got 7, 8 cities in our own region for us to go get a bag. We got clubs in all these cities. We got promoters in all these cities. Half these people is, you know, friends on Facebook. So the Midwest must build its own network for us to get the type of money we seeing down south get, the Bay get, New York get, Houston get. All those cities network with each other. They run up and down 35. That's why when you are doing a southern tour for an artist, you can hit Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia. You know what I mean? Florida. You know, because all them artists already is networking. Us in the Midwest, we got to start networking with Chicago, Kansas City, St. Louis. Bring these artists in. Treat them like royalty. When we go to their cities, we're treated like royalty. Everyone's safe, no violence. It can be done. It's going to take a few to do it, but it can be done. And Rich the Factor is a legend in Kansas City, my brother. Like Rich the Factor. I remember I brought Rich the Factor to Kansas City when I was like 17. And I'm a little older now, but y'all can look me up and find my age. But so him, Swell L, I think Rappin' Twine, like all them cats came to the Northeast Creative Center, you know, and I was still in high school. So I've been knowing Rich the Factor a minute, but he a legend, man. He put that work in. You know, I remember, you know, watching him, you know, just when I was just underground, like we wasn't even in the magazines or nothing yet. And just watching him work with JT the Bigger Figure, San Quinn, like he was out there in the Bay, like he had the game way early. And yeah, he's a legend, man. Shout out to Rich the Factor, man. The whole Major Factor Records. I mean, 2 individuals doesn't cause a city war though, right? Because we don't know what those individuals had going on, or even if that, you know, what was going on, you know. So with that said, I don't think 2 people can change the love of how 2 cities feel, right? When you got cities that love each other, it's hard for 2 people to kind of taunt that. So I think, you know, Kansas City and the Bay is like one and the same, so we both can kind of understand, you know, what it is like that. But yeah, we love the Bay. We hope the Bay love us. Well, Kansas City, I mean, Fat Tone was, you know, Fat Tone was a gangster as far as what I heard. I met him like maybe 2 times. I had did a track for my homeboy Calico on his album, and he put Fat Tone and Sibo on that track. And it's called I'm a Vet. And so I think I only met him a few times, but just cause Tony was in Missouri, like I say, I'm from KC, but yeah, just the word on the street, them niggas just putting work in, and you know they was getting down. Yeah, I did. I'm a vet, man. That's Calico, Sibo, and Fat Tone. Yeah, that was one of his trademarks. You know what I mean? But the song I think was on my homeboy Calico album. But maybe Fat Tone used it too though. But I do know that I'm a vet is you know, that's like his trademark. I'm gonna just say in a collective whole, a lot of them. Like I worked with Spice one time, man. Spice One was with us, man. That was one of the times I really seen an artist like go in there and do 3 songs. Like, I mean, he's like, give me the pen and paper, like, you know, turn the beat up. It was like that Tupac moment or something, you know, Spice One, you know. So that was like, and he was with us like we worked maybe 4 or 5 days doing songs, traveling, and yeah, Little Flip, man. Little Flip is another beast, man. Be Legit, you know, Be Legit from Sick With It Records, man. I worked with him. Went to Houston, kicking with him, did shows. Yeah, man. So cats like that motivate me. Like when I see Spice One going there and can do 3 songs, and you know, Be Legit come through Kansas City and you know lace me with a verse. It's things like that that motivate me to keep going. That let me know that yeah, I can do this. And yeah. Well, the first album I did was Scandalous Kansas. That was just in the streets of KC, right? The first deal that we did was Bayside Distribution out of Sacramento, California, and they was distributing everybody in the Bay. They call us like, yeah, we want y'all to come out to Sacramento, man. We like what y'all doing in Kansas City. You know, we seen y'all in the Murder Dog, this, that, the third. So we shoot out there, bam. They take us to their distribution. We go through the warehouse. They walk us around. We like, oh yeah, you know, we finna be in the game. Yeah, like, man, you wanna do the deal? I'm like, man, let's do it. You know, this our first time. We ain't knowing. We some young street hustlers from Kansas City. So we do the deal, sign the contracts, man. We supposed to get like $650 a CD. They gonna press up the first 20,000. It's a P&D. That's a pressing and distribution. Yeah, so we selling. They tell me, yeah, we done sold 5,000. We done sold 10,000. But remember, back then they only pay every 90 days. So it might be 4 months because it take a month for the tally to come in. What went back to the store, what was broke. So about the 5th month, we calling like, damn, you know, they owe us, you know, some change. I'm assuming, right? Man, this company went bankrupt. So they didn't hit us and a lot of artists in the Bay. I'm pretty sure it's some Bay artists that probably got that same story, but the company went out of business. So that was my first deal in the music business. Yeah, C-No was like a big brother to me and just to the probably whole DEUCE, man. You know, that was our first time going to Houston, Texas. And like I said, we had went to the Bay and the Bay was doing their thing. But when I got to Houston and we was finna do the deal with Southwest Wholesale, I think Houston was definitely around that time, around 98, 99. It was definitely a game changer for me, man. You know, that was the first time I seen young brothers 22, 23 in Ferraris, Prowlers, you know, BMWs, like, and like we was hustling Kansas City, don't get me wrong. But when we got down there, we was like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, this is a whole nother playing field, baby. And it just inspired me to know that it was way more out there than what I had perceived and seen, right? And, you know, C-No basically was just, you know, telling us about distribution. Like, we knew about distribution because my homeboy Dante had a record store. But we didn't know how to get the deal as far as a label. And he basically put us on the game to that. Back in them days, you can go get a cash advance on your CDs. I think too many artists is doing that. Like, so if you go get a P&D deal, you know, and they say, okay, we're gonna press up 30,000 copies. You say, okay, and they say, but we're gonna give you an advance on them. You be like, okay, what's that? So they say, we give you $3 on that. You know, so you might get $6,000 or something. And I think artists was just probably taking you know, kept going up there because now remember, like, you know, these companies are right in the heart of Houston, right? And Houston is grimy too. So a lot of artists, I think, was going up there muscling. Like, man, you said you sold 10,000. I can't wait till February, bro. Let me get 2,500 today, right? Now you got 100 people coming up here every day, and you know it was some of that probably. So, you know, one thing about the music business is that it be a lot of returns too. You can ship it, that don't mean it's sold. And they probably was paying people thinking it's sold, and it came back. These days, I'm way more mature. I done learned from all my mistakes that I made, you know, and I truly understand what it is to be an artist, what it is to be in the music business. You know, I done came full circle with myself, with the business, to understand that you gotta live it. It's not nothing you can turn off. It's you, and it's a lifelong thing. I just think I started at a time where I was in the street hustle, you know, that I still got people that really appreciate the music I make, and they still rock with me. So I don't really think, I just think the internet is a bonus to what I already have done in my situation, right? Because I still got the physical copies, but now I can put them online, I can perform them, I can still do shows. So I think just by me being in that window of time, that it was a blessing. And the internet is just me, you know, reuniting with the people that see me along the way of my other projects, right? And so it was easy for me, because all I gotta say is, hey, I'm back, here I am, here's some good music. And people that really know me know I really got a love for music. And they be like, yeah, that dude is serious right there. And it's just always worked for me. So it was easy for me. I mean, no one can put you on. No one can put anyone on. You gotta put yourself on. Anybody that's on, put themselves on. And that summary itself is different for every artist. Like, you know, and I say that because me as a record label owner, producer, I done tried to put so many people on. You gotta want it. A lot of people think they want it, but they don't want it, because it come with rules. It come with being a real business. And I think that no artist can really put you on unless they really got a network. They really got real distribution, meaning that a major has given them a budget to promote and market a project. If they don't have that, you know, and this with any artist, this ain't got nothing to do with them cats. If it ain't really nothing behind it, it's just like a cosign. It's like, okay.